reward loyalty. This could mean, hey, for my clients that most of the time, I'd say 99% of them become friends, and they come through my program, and I say, listen, if you refer anybody to me, I'll give you a 10% referral fee. That's usually based on the first month if it's a retainer-based work, or 10% off the entire Authority Booster intensive program, which is a few $100. It's pretty good. For them, I do it quickly. Hey, it's Renee. Welcome to the Into the Wild Show, the podcast for women who want to build incredible mental strength to level up their business and lifestyle. I'm Renée Warren, the founder of We Wild Women, author, speaker, award-winning entrepreneur, and your host. Together, we will make you unapologetic about shining your light, growing your business, and turning you into a wildly confident and successful leader. This is for you, the visionary, the go-getter, the entrepreneur, and for those that need a real kick in the butt to get going and to dream bigger. Each week, I bring in leading experts and entrepreneurs to help you take leaps in the right direction, because I know the best advice comes from someone who has successfully done it before. So, are you ready to level up? Welcome to Into the Wild. Hey, you wild women. I am so excited to be back in studio. This is my home office because, well, I just spent 20 days on the road, which was a lovely experience flying through Boston to support my husband's live event for SAS Academy, as well as doing the red eye solo with my two boys to Croatia, which is not something to write home about. But let me tell you, what a trip. We had so much fun. How this trip went is our really good friends, Lawrence and Karen Tam, they rented this super yacht and they invited 7 families on this boat because it's a big yacht with all these bedrooms. He said, come join us for a week in Croatia. We'd never been before. We heard so much about it. So we said, let's do this, and spent the week there. And then the second week, we rented a car and we kind of bebopped around the inside of Croatia. And let me tell you, the people there are so nice. The views are out of this world. If you've never been there before, I highly recommend a week in Croatia because it is such a fun destination to go to with family, especially in the summertime. But now we're back in studio. Here I am. And I almost forget how to talk into a mic. It has been so long. I spent so much time onboarding new people. And my VA, Morgan, shout out to you. She is awesome and she's crushing it. And all these new things that are happening within the business. I'm pulling on all these new levers. And really what I'm doing is consolidating all this work that was once delegated to a bunch of different people, because now I have the right people in place. And they see the vision and they know how to support me. And the reason why I need all this support is because I want to take the time to build out our processes so that we can now surprise and delight our customers, which is what this episode is really all about. It's oftentimes something that we start to forget about, right? We spend so much time marketing and taking sales calls and onboarding new clients. And then the first week's really exciting and people are excited and stuff's happening. And then all of a sudden, that interest kind of wanes. I'm not just saying from the customer, but even from you as a service provider or selling a product. And they say it's cheaper to sell to a current customer than it is to acquire a new one. So why aren't we putting more emphasis in surprising and delighting the customers that are already with us? So let's just go through this really quickly because I want you at the end of the show to take a moment, take some notes, pause, and actually start implementing some of these things today in your business. So there's 9 tips to surprise and delight your customers. I bet you've been in a position where you have an incredible product and service, but the sales aren't coming in. You're probably wondering what's going on. There's probably a lot of things. Could be your marketing, the funnel, could be the offer. Right now I'm reading a $100 million offer by Alex Hormozi. I'll plop that in the show notes below. Highly recommend that book. It is really for anybody that wants to create a high ticket offer and start making some really good money. Despite the fact that I had already established a good offer with my Authority Booster Intensive, so my VIP day, I still got so much value from the book. I'm actually going back. I haven't even finished reading it the first time, but when I flipped back through the Kindle version, I realized there were some things I just didn't pick up on. So I'm reading it again. According to a recent survey, all it takes is one bad experience for a customer to not come back. Think about it, a restaurant you've been into where the customer service was okay, but the food is crap. And then they didn't even try to make up for it. It's not like it was extra on their end to apologize for a crappy meal, but I'm sure we've all recently had a really bad experience. I'll say one experience that was really bad. When we were in Croatia, we were going to one of the national parks to go see the waterfalls. The waterfalls there are so beautiful. I feel like Croatia is this kind of hidden gem that people are discovering now, but I did not realize the waterfalls and the national parks they had there. So we're at this park. We decided, you know what, let's make an experience out of this and let's bike from the entranceway of the park. Let's bike from there to the waterfalls. And it's all like super touristy. So there's a lot of like pit stops and restaurants and stuff. However, the bike to the destination was a really long gravel road. It was, I think, like 5 kilometers or something. It was not what we expected. It was not an easy bike. And we didn't really build up that anticipation with the kids. So they signed up for going on a leisurely bike, and it wasn't that. It was not that at all. And so my oldest, about a quarter of the way in the bike ride, realized how hard it was going to be, and he wanted to turn back. But at this point, it's like, I'm gung-ho, Dan's gung-ho, Noah's kind of on board. We're like, we want to go see these beautiful falls. We rented these bikes. This is the way we're going to do it. The other option was to buy a ticket to go on a boat, which is like this really beautiful experience, to boat down to the waterfalls, to disembark down there, walk around and go back. And we're about halfway down. I was like, you know what? I'm sure if we told the captain of the boat that we needed to get a lift back with maybe 1 or 2 of the bikes, he could do it. So at this point, Max is full on meltdown. Nothing in the world can change his mind. I'm sure if you have a kid, you've lived through these experiences before. So he's crying, he's tired, he's hungry, he's miserable, he can't shake it. The only thing in the world that would change his mind is if we promised him that he could take the boat back home. You see, the ride there was mostly downhill. And I think about halfway in, he noticed that if we're going downhill now, that means that we have to ride uphill all the way home, and he already hated it. So I was trying not to bring attention to that fact. Anyway, we get down there, Dan kind of branches off, takes Max. And I said, you know what, why don't we go talk to the boat people? So we go and they said, you know what, it's really the captain's call. So you're going to have to wait for the next boat to come in, talk to the captain. Meanwhile, Max is completely distraught. Like at this point now, I'm like, I'm going to make up an excuse that he's sick and he's feverish and there's no way he can bike home because at this point now, it was going to be a struggle. We go up to captain. I'm in line. There's a lot of people behind us. And it's like Max, Noah, and I. We're the only 3 people to bike. Dan's like, I'm going to bike back anyway. We go up and I go, hey, Max, so why don't you go and ask the captain? And he's like pale at this point. Sweating. It's so hot. I'm right behind him. We asked the captain, listen, can we at least have him take the bike? We'll figure out another way to get their bikes back. Can we take one bike home? And he said, no, absolutely not. And then looked at me. And I was like, he's not feeling well. Like, is there any way we can just get him to get the bike on the boat? He's like, no. And my heart sunk. I was like, how could somebody say no to a kid who is like beside himself? Immediately, I was like, terrible experience. And I'm never going to recommend that boat ride or that captain ever again. And then we had to turn around and face all these people trying to board the boat. And people were so rude. Like, how would you even try to take a bike on the boat and all this stuff? Anyway, it was just a really bad experience. How I would have improved that if I were the captain, I would have said, listen, we're not allowed to do this. I highly recommend maybe this, or this, and I'm really sorry I can't help you. But instead of like the blunt no, it's saying no, but in a nicer way, it totally changes the customer's experience. So anyway, it wasn't a nice no. And now in forever in my mind, that waterfall is going to remind me of the time that the captain said no to Max. So I'm going to go to point 1 is understand your customers. I always say this when I first start onboarding any new clients, whether it's a retainer client or a VIP day, authority booster, intensive client. The first thing is to update your ideal customer. If you don't do this quarterly or annually, then you don't know or understand your customer. So update that document. If it's just a bullet point, if you have a name for this person, like mine's like Entrepreneur Emily, who is she? How old is she? What's her income? Some branding experts will say that doesn't matter, but yeah, it matters. It matters especially when it comes to promoting your business, especially with PR, because you need to figure out where your customers are hanging out online, what books they're reading, what podcasts they're downloading, because that's where you need to show up. And so if you don't understand your customer, then you will fail. Joy Coleman, a friend of ours, has a really good book called Never Lose a Customer Again, where he argues that you need to get to know your customer and surprise and delight them for the first 100 days. That's 3 months, which doesn't seem like a lot. And if some of you only have a 3-month program or a 6-month program, then you have to be surprised and delighting every single day. The point being is, once you build that trust with them, where they know that you're going to be there for them and the experience is always going to be amazing, then I don't want to say you can give it slack, no, but then they'll just trust you and things become easier. One way of doing this is to conduct customer surveys. Another way of doing it is to monitor social media and online reviews. If you have product reviews online and they're great, share them. If they're not, then tap into that. Why aren't they great? I mean, I base what I'm going to buy online based on the reviews, 100%. Like I use this app, I think it's called ASOS, ASOS. I've used it before. I'm not going to use it that much going in the future because they have a whole category for tall women and the options are quite great. But I realized is that when I buy something and the reviews are crap and the people say, oh, it fits too small or it fits too big or it's too long, 99% of the time they are correct. And so when you have a product that has online reviews and there's a bunch of terrible reviews, you have to tap into that. You have to try to figure out why. If there's 2 people out of 100 saying it was a bad salsa or whatever it is that you sell, reach out to them. Offer them a replacement and say, I'm so sorry. Like we don't often have this review. Our customers are generally satisfied, so I really want to make it right for you. When it comes to online reviews, as you probably know, is that you either really super, super like the product or service or you hate it. So there's hardly anybody in the middle. So when you look at like reviews, they're either a 5-star, 4-star, or 1-star. There's hardly any 2s or 3s. Another thing is to look at your customer data. You can only improve what you measure. So whatever that data is for you, whatever your business, I can't go into detail here because I don't know your business, but you better be tracking stuff. If it's even just traffic per dollar revenue, whatever it is, ROAS, whatever it is, look into it, understand your data, and understand how you can use that to better understand your customer. The next one is to go above and beyond with customer service. This is training your team. This is being proactive. This is resolving issues quickly and efficiently. So when I was 17, I started a restaurant with my sister. The table stakes for a restaurant is, guess what? Is to have good food. It doesn't have to be Michelin star. It just has to be really decent. The next most important thing is it has to be consistent. There's a restaurant in Kelowna. It's actually a chain. We don't often go through chains, but there's a chain. It's called Cactus Club. And I don't know how many locations they have on the west coast of Canada, but they have a lot. Why we love going there is because they have great healthy options. It is consistent. I am going to knock on wood, boom, boom, boom. There has never been a time when I ordered the meal and it didn't look different. It always looked the same. It always tasted the same. And it always came with the same service. So that's training the team. So their team is probably trained that if that dish comes out and they look at it and it doesn't look like it always looks, then they probably send it back. Even when it comes to like service, train your team. Perfect example would be if you run a salon. If you run a salon or a spa and you have customers come in, they're getting their hair done, nails done, whatever it is. Before they leave, you need to be stopping them and saying, hey, when are we going to book your next appointment? If you're getting your nails done, most people's nails turn over in about 2 weeks, right? If you're getting gel, for me, it's always 2 weeks. The failure for my nail salon is that when I'm paying, they're not immediately opening up their calendar and saying, hey, should we book your nail appointment for 2 weeks from now? And I'm going to come back to them as an example. They don't do that. And it's so simple for them because now they're guaranteeing these people in their calendar. When it comes to being proactive, don't wait for your customers to ask for help. If you anticipate something coming up, be the one that's already mentioning the issue before they get a chance. Because then they're like, oh, okay, well, they saw there's a problem and now they're dealing with it. This is amazing. And then resolve the issues quickly and efficiently. Do you consider yourself to be a VIP, a very important person? Well, I do, especially if you are a female entrepreneur, you run a business, maybe you're an executive in a top organization, and you know that your company just needs a little extra help to get to the next level, especially when it comes to building authority and credibility. Well, I have something for you, the perfect fempreneur or power woman that is getting world-class PR work, world-class PR advice and strategies without the agency price. Listen, I've been in this industry for a very long time, 12 years, and I've seen the evolution of what public relations is, how to execute, how to work through the headaches of the unsubscribes, of the no's, of the time that you're pitching all day long and you're getting no replies. Those are called crickets. Let's smush those crickets. All you have to do is go to wewildwomen.com/VIP day to learn how you can get a world-class PR strategy built for you by me and my team that you can integrate into your everyday marketing initiatives. Because here's the thing about PR. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Yes, you have sprints, but it is a marathon. The people that are successful in getting on the top podcasts or successful in getting media coverage are obviously creating value to readers and listeners, but also that can provide the value again and again. So becoming the go-to expert in your industry. PR helps you increase your authority, helps increase credibility, searchability. It's great SEO juice. And I know a lot of you are like, Renee, I just don't have the budget to hire a $50,000 agency. That's why I've created the VIP day. It's a done for you service. And all you got to do is take the strategy when it's done. And I teach you all this on the integration call, and you execute it daily within your organization. And it's not something that you, the founder, has to do. It could be your VA or your EA or even your second in command. The whole point of this is I wanted to give access to world-class PR strategies, tips, advice, execution on PR strategies to the women out there who want to grow their business and they want to be seen and heard. So if you're interested, go to wewildwomen.com/VIP day. Next up is reward loyalty, 100%. And this is going to come back to my nail salon. I've been going to this place, and I know listeners are probably going to be like, why are you going back then, Renee? It's a long story behind this. I started being a customer to this local nail salon 3 months after they opened. And let me tell you, they didn't have a lot of customers at first. They have a beautiful facility, big, gorgeous chairs and everything in the downtown core. I would say a unique looking woman. I'm 6 foot tall. When you have a unique feature about yourself, you tend to be more memorable. Given that I was also one of their first customers, that I came back literally every 2 weeks for almost 6 months. I can go back and look at my Visa bill if you need me to. You would think they would remember me. When I walked in there, they would look at me and they say hi, as though they had never seen me before. Then they asked if I had an appointment. And I have always had an appointment. And I've gone, I don't know how many times at that point. I looked at them like absolutely boggled. How do you not know who I am? When I walk through those doors, it should be a, hi, Renee, how are you? I get that they probably have thousands of customers, but at this point, with the frequency of my visits, they should know who I am. They really should. They don't have a loyalty program. So when you go in, you're going to kind of go in and you punch in your phone number. It notifies the system that you're there. The amount of times I go in and I always leave a tip, even though it's not the best service because I feel guilty. If they had a loyalty program and they remembered my name, I would definitely recommend this. But I just don't recommend this place to people. When they say, hey, where to get your nails done? I'm like, oh, this place downtown, it's not that good. I don't recommend it. I'm on their email list. They don't send emails. I'll get a random email at Christmas time. So they don't offer deals or discounts. They don't look at a bigger calendar of what's coming up, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, Christmas, whatever it is. They don't offer discounts. Hey, 10% off if you book your Mother's Day nail appointment today. There's absolutely no personalized touches either. So reward loyalty. This could mean, hey, for my clients that most of the time, I'd say 99% of them become friends and they come through my program and I say, listen, if you refer anybody to me, I'll give you a 10% referral fee. That's usually based on the first month if it's a retainer-based work, or 10% off the entire Authority Booster intensive program, which is a few $100. It's pretty good. For them, I do it quickly. And for some people in my trust, I'll do it even if the client hasn't signed the deal yet, which I know, shame on me. Don't take that advice from me. The point being is like, when these people are loyal to you, you have to treat them with that utmost respect. And you want to build that loyalty. So wherever there's an issue, correct it quickly. Wherever there's something where you know, hey, this client, even from like 2 years ago, I remember massaging her and she had bruises all over her body from the sport she played. And now you sell this new arnica cream that helps with bruising. You should be reaching out with her one-on-one, even if it's like an Instagram DM. If it's like a little, hey, Anita, I remember massaging you and you had bruises all over your leg from playing soccer. We're actually now stocking this really cool new organic arnica cream that helps expedite healing of bruises. And I thought it'd be something you would enjoy. Should I put a bottle aside for you? They come in the door, they grab that bottle. Guess what you can do? You can book their next massage. It's those personal touches that mean so, so much to customers. Another thing I would do, and this is total sidebar. So, okay, actually, this goes into using creative marketing tactics, which is number 4. This is what I would do if I had a local business, restaurant, car dealership, dentist. I'll tell you about the dentist too. What else could there be? Anything local. Boutiques, spas. If I see, I'd go into like Kelowna. So we live in Kelowna. I'd go into Instagram and I would look at the locations. You can open up Instagram, you can go to search, and then you can look at Kelowna. So go to Instagram now, open up search, and then put in your city, whatever you live. And then you'll see top or recent. And then click on recent. Here's the thing. These are people that are tagging your town close to you. Look at this. If I ran a boutique, a spa, a nail salon, and I see these women that are my demographic tagging this location, there's a high likelihood that they live here. So here's the one woman. Her name is Ianda. Cool. 9 minutes ago, she's like, belly laughs, blah, blah, blah. She's swimming. They have bright colored nails. If I was a salon or a spa, I would reach out to her and be like, I love the color of your nails on the back of the boat. Listen, I run a really cool nail salon on blah, blah, blah street, and I would absolutely love to have you as a customer, and I would love to offer you a 15% discount on your first visit. Can I book you in? Why aren't we doing this? I have not been reached out at all from any local business except for one, and I'm going to have a huge shout out for Ali Monroe, who is one of the co-founders of Care Dental. When we were first coming to Kelowna, we hadn't even moved here yet, but we had rented a place and we were going up to Big White and stuff. She reached out, I think she direct messaged Dan. And she said, hey, listen, I don't know if you've moved here or if you're visiting, but if you ever need a dentist, please let me know. And so we were like messaging back and forth. We're like, awesome, we really love this. And we're like, yeah, for sure. If we need a dentist, we'll let you know. Well, as luck would have it, we needed a dentist. And then that turned into all 4 of us being patients at her clinic, as well as Max getting full braces, which was thousands of dollars, amongst other things. All she did was she was the first one to say, and she's super cool, hey, I run Care Dental. We have really unique hours. We're actually open 7 days a week, which is also unheard of. And we have unique hours. And so that was a big sell for us. And ever since then, she has treated us like gold, 100% gold. She probably can't do this for everybody, but the way that she approaches it, I know that she trains her staff, because when I walk in there and I see people that I have never seen before that work there, they'll even say, are you Renée? A good guess would mean like, I'm a woman that has a woman's name that's walking in right at my appointment time. Yes, that makes sense. Or someone will be like, hey, Renée, how's it going? How are the kids? Like, they're trained to create that next level personalization so that, of course, we're going to keep coming back. So if you're in the Kelowna area and you need a dentist, go to Care Dental. I'm telling you right now, huge shout out, because they know where it's at. The next one, 5, is make every interaction memorable. So kind of like this is an example. Be detail-oriented, add a personal touch, surprise with unexpected gestures. So unexpected gestures is one time I was going in, I asked about having kids whitening stuff. I was like, oh, my son's teeth are really yellow and he's really embarrassed by this. Is there like a easy way to help him whiten his teeth? And she's like, yeah, there's this little thing we can use. And we used all the gel, and like to replace the little gel syringes are like $20. And when I was there for a cleaning, I was like, oh my gosh, Ali, we ran out of those gel things. And she kind of just like slid me a couple free ones. She's like, here you go. It's on me. Mind you, we've just finished spending thousands of dollars. But the point being is that she's like, it's on me, because she knows we're going to keep coming back. Unexpected gestures. So number 6 is continuously improve and innovate. Listen to your customers' feedback, embrace new technologies, stay ahead of the curve. Listen to what they're saying. The best companies are the ones that are evolving. They're revolutionizing things. Sure, I want to use Kodak as an example. They did not improve and innovate. They're like, why would anybody want to go digital with their photos? Look at us today, Kodak. Look at us now. Sure, there are people that still get film developed, 100% understand there's an experience behind this, but it's not necessary now. People want to instantly see their pictures and share it. So Kodak failed. So where are the opportunities in your business, whether it's improving a system, especially improving the total experience with their customers? Do you need to use something like Jane app, where you have to improve your online booking system that connects to your billing system and all that stuff? Look at the opportunities out there where the customer experience can be better. If you need to, ask one of your employees to go through the entire process of what it would be to become a new customer and then ask them for feedback. Number 7 is emphasize sustainability and social responsibility. We all like a company that is connected to something good. Go green, get involved in the community, create a fund, create a scholarship. Don't be just about that to be showy about it. What's it called? Performative. Be about it because it actually has meaning behind it. What is it that you do? If there's something that you're doing now and you want to get more legs behind it, then start promoting it or start connecting it into a bigger mission of your business. But we all want to see the businesses, all companies have some sort of sustainability and social responsibility. Second, lastly, encourage and respond to feedback. I can't tell you how many times I've gone onto Amazon and I've seen terrible reviews and the company doesn't even make an effort to go in and be like, okay, we're sorry, right? And I've had this before. This was years ago, 2015, I think. I bought a toilet paper holder for our spare bathroom and it came, clearly it was destroyed during shipping, but it was broken when it arrived. I left a review. I don't even know why I did this. I'm actually kind of embarrassed, but I was like, hey, my God, it arrived broken. This is a shame. And instantly the company was like, we are so sorry. Definitely something that happened during transportation. I would like to replace this for free in exchange for you removing the negative review. And I said, this is a perfect instance where it makes sense for me to do that. And so I did. And they just shipped it, no problem, removed the negative review, actually exchanged it for a positive review, highlighting their incredible customer service. Okay, so think about where you're feeling at that online. Lastly is build emotional connections. Match their values, build a community, tell compelling stories. People love stories. If you have some awesome customers and they're okay with you talking about them, talk about them all the time. Talk about them. If you're a coach or you have a program where people come through because they're going from A to Z and they reached Z, celebrate them online. People want to be seen and heard, and especially if they've come through your program. So by surprising and delighting your customers, they will keep coming back. And not only will they keep coming back, they will be more than happy to recommend you and refer you to their friends and their family, possibly their customers. On that note, I also don't want to forget to say that in an effort to bring great content like this to amazing women-led businesses, female entrepreneurs, mompreneurs, I would love an incredible review from you. If you want to leave me 5 stars and write a couple words, that would mean the world to me to help get into the wild in front of more incredible women like you. Thank you. Have a great day. So there you have it. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Into the Wild. To make this girl happy and to help reach other women who are dreaming of starting their business, please leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and everywhere you listen in. Also, if you want to find me in the wild, check me out on Instagram at Renee_Warren. That's RENEE_WARREN. And leaving you with one of my favorite tips of all time, the best advice you could ever receive is from someone who has successfully done it before you. Until next time, ladies, peace out.